Look, I can't even lie to y'all, man. YNW MELLY might be cooked after this. Because look, on trial right now, they have literally reconstructed the entire shooting of every single bullet hole that went in the car, that went into YNW Juvy's head, that went into YNW Sakchaser, and they've also completely destroyed YNW and Bortland's testimony and the only excuse they had to make them innocent by saying it was a drive-by. One thing about the streets, right, and gang banging and all that other stuff, people always think they can get away with murder. People always think that they can outsmart the police, that they can do this, that they can do that. But man, if y'all don't get y'all dumbasses out the streets and realize that the police has resources that most people never even thought of. Man, they got scientists, forensic scientists, who can literally piece together the trajectory of a bullet piercing a dead body, man. I know it's a lot of YNW MELLY fans watching this, and like I always say, I believe that anybody when they're on trial is innocent until proven guilty. So if the person is guilty, they gotta prove it. But look, man, the evidence is clear, cut, and dry, and I'm gonna show y'all exactly what the prosecution is saying in just a second. We gonna get into this footage, but man, before we do that, I don't know how much y'all been keeping up with the trial, but if you replace the steps according to their testimony, allegedly the story was supposed to go that they two friends got hit in a drive-by. YNW MELLY might be cooked after this, bro. The young boy might be done. Now, I'm not sure if he's gonna get the death penalty, because that's a whole nother story. Because in order to get the death penalty, they will have to prove that YNW MELLY allegedly shot his two friends in furtherance of the gang. That's gonna be hard to prove, let's be honest with you. Because to me, this could easily look like a crime of passion, a revenge killing. But it's super hard. It's gonna be super hard for the prosecution to say that that was for the gang without any type of initiation, without any type of text message saying, look, get them boys out the way for the gang. Without those type of things, it's gonna be hard to lock down that MELLY did this for the gang. And if they can't prove that MELLY did this for the gang, he won't get the death penalty. But man, it's gonna be real hard for him to duck this murder charge, especially with the fact that they got the bullet going into YNW Juvy's head from the back seat of the car. And the prosecution and the forensic scientists broke it down that in order for YNW Bortland to have shot YNW Juvy, he would have had arms that stretched around to the back seat like Inspector Gadget. Look, I ain't say that, he did. I'm not making none of this shit up. We gonna play the footage so you can hear it for yourself. It might be a touchdown for the prosecution on this, and MELLY and his lawyers and his attorneys, they're gonna have to come up with one hell of defense to beat forensic science, evidence, bullet trajectories, and the geometric location of the bullet shells. Another thing is they traced how far you would have had to be and the motion of another vehicle to do a drive-by. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. See, if you stand outside of your car and just pow, pow, pow at the door, the bullet holes won't have the same circumference, trajectory, speed, or rate of impact as a car would if it's driving by. Pow, pow, pow. The police even know what the size of the bullet hole looks like and the force of the impact should look like if somebody is driving by doing the drive-by. And they're saying right now that that is absolutely impossible with the rate of impact of those bullets, man. Not only that, the forensic scientists are also able to lock down and also testify that the bullets that went into YNW Juvy and YNW Sakchaser were after they were already shot. Yes, they literally are able to tell the way wounds and the way blood cells coagulate after a body has already been shut down and shot and predisposed of. So the bullets will react differently hitting a dead body than it would hitting a living person. And God, bruh, I don't mean to curse, I'm sorry, but man, looking at the bullet hole that's in the back of YNW Juvy's head to the left and to the bottom like that, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. From the same passenger side seat that YNW MELLY was shown getting into the car on the footage, how you gonna beat the case? How you gonna beat this case now? MELLY's defense is going to have to work a magic trick on this one, bro, because as clear as it looks to me, the prosecution, the judge, and anybody else, right now, bro, this case is taking a turn to the left, and it's really looking like MELLY might have did it, bro. I'm not trying to accuse the man. It's still innocent till proven guilty. They got to figure that out, but man, it ain't looking good. A blind bat can see that. But look, man, look, without further ado, I'm gonna let y'all hear this for yourself. Y'all make y'all own determination. Looking at this footage, looking at this evidence, if y'all think that boy Melly is cooked, but y'all think he's still gonna walk free, man, let's roll the footage and get into it.
So this resting angle in this seat, you have the projectile coming in, exiting through the top of the skull, and then continuing through the windshield.
You said windshield.
The window.
Can you say that it was at the top of the window, or the bottom of the window, the middle of the window?
I cannot.
So based on that projectile and the blowback, you can make what opinions?
So based on the angle of this this projectile, the blowback is indicative of a firearm being in close vicinity of the head. The head is something that bleeds profusely when it's pierced. Because the projectile entered in right below the skull, the blowback ended up coming in the direction that it came from, and you will get that with a very close shot. That blowback then proceeded after the shot. It went up, it hit this headliner, and continued and falling into the back seat.
And so I want to go to some of the other photos. There's a yellow jacket that's on the very back of the vehicle.
I would expect to find some blowback here if on a driver, if a driver was there.
So you were discussing that how you would find and determine angles and ranges for specific individuals that are presented to you.
So I would obtain a shooting height. That height would be obtained from the ground to your arm, and then that would give me a minimum and a maximum.
Why is that important in your analysis? I'm going to go back to 4809.
So these angles are important because it is part of my assignment, which is to determine if this is a drive-by shooting. So if it's a drive-by shooting, all of these rounds should look like this.
Why?
Because movement is being introduced to that projectile.
So to contrast site L, what does that tell you?
So that's a shot that the shooter is stationary. The vehicle is stationary.